Bangladesh's chief advisor Mohammad Yunus has publicly praised the students who were quote-unquote the brains behind the recent revolution in the country which led to the ouster of former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Yunus was speaking at the Clinton Global Initiative on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York with former US President Bill Clinton standing right next to him. The interim head of the Bangladeshi government called Mehfouz Abdullah and two other student leaders to the stage and lauded them for sparking a revolution that he said shook the entire country. This has come right after Yunus has also met Joe Biden, who met him in a show of support after an uprising toppled Sheikh Hasina's government. Biden even offered continuous US support as Bangladesh continues to implement its new reform agenda. Even today, videos surface of Hindus suffering. However, the question really arises, what exactly did Mohammad Yunus mean by these students being the brains behind what was supposed to be or what was being painted as an organic students movement? I take this conversation forward. I have with me Ambassador Veena Sikri, former diplomat. We also have with us Prasanta Kumar Shil, an academic and political commentator, Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist with us on the broadcast, and I also have with me Sumit Peer, political commentator as well. Let me begin this conversation with Ambassador Veena Sikri. Ambassador Sikri, I'm sure you've also read excerpts of what Mohammad Yunus said while he was standing next to Bill Clinton, then Bill Clinton also shaking hands of all the students. Mohammad, it's one thing, Ambassador, for Mohammad Yunus to sort of say that yes, there was an organic students movement, certain decisions were taken by the Sheikh Hasina government, but then these were the students who sort of brought everyone together. However, the choice of words was really interesting because he literally said that they were the brains, that what seemed like an organic movement was not really organic, that it was a well thought out movement. Do you feel that he's just chosen the wrong words, or was this some sort of a way where he's just he's admitted on US soil that no, it wasn't as organic as the people of Bangladesh were trying to portray?
I think Professor Mohammad Yunus's speech yesterday has come as a big shock to many people in Bangladesh, and in fact today the Dhaka Tribune, a very leading English language newspaper, and I'm sure many other vernacular papers have carried this because they're awestruck, because all this while, right from the time in Paris where Mohammad Yunus was watching the Olympics and then he was asked to come as the chief advisor of the interim government, he had been, Professor Mohammad Yunus had been maintaining that this is a spontaneous movement. It is completely spontaneous, and that there were these students and they were there and it was spontaneous, decided to get together, and because of the violence against the students, they decided to ask former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to resign. But what he said yesterday was that the exact opposite of what he had been saying all this while. And what he said yesterday was that this is a meticulously planned movement. And he said, you must know that these are the people. He called the three students on stage, of which I believe only two are the ones with him, and the third was a completely unknown person who just came on the stage. He said that don't think this happened just like that. They have planned it meticulously. They have organized everything. You cannot believe. And even we chose, they look like ordinary students, but they have planned it. So he went into a lot of detail about that. So it certainly has raised a lot of questions. And I would believe that just with former President Clinton, Bill Clinton standing next to him, it does indeed raise the question as to why on earth is this happening. So I think that there are a lot of answers that we now need as to why he said this. And was it just it came out after for 6 weeks maintaining a completely different point of view about the spontaneity of the movement, what everybody getting together spontaneously and it coming up like that, and and so on, and the anger with the attacks against the student. Now he's saying the complete opposite, saying it was planned from the word go. And he even said, I don't think it happened just like that. It was meticulously planned. So I think it raises a lot of very uncomfortable questions, and saying this in New York would certainly have not been very palatable even for his host at the Bill Clinton function.
What did you make of Mohammad Yunus's speech yesterday, where Ambassador Sikri's also pointed out some of the words that he used? Do you think that it was in the moment, that he was so proud of the students for their contribution, which will of course go down in the history books of Bangladesh, right? What has happened recently, the fact that you've ousted Sheikh Hasina managed to do that, or was it somewhere really a slip of the tongue? Sumit.
Okay, this question is to me. Sorry, the initial part of the voice didn't come in. Well, Devika ji, thank you very much for having me on your show. Look, what happened yesterday was not a slip of tongue. He was announcing it to the whole world what really happened. With due respect, you can put some chune ka plaster on a wall, but when the monsoon rains will come, it will be just washed away. Then you will know how dirty and ugly the wall is. That is what he was exactly telling us. Look, this is all orchestrated. This was all planned. These are the guys behind it. They are the guys behind it. They are the brains behind it. I want to tell them about the mastermind, but he refuses to acknowledge publicly. And he made it look like a leaderless protest so that you could not get hold of a leader and, stop the protest. So all the things was organized. These are all Jamatis disguised as students. They are all Islamists disguised as students. It is a Islamic revolution of Pakistan. And not only here, just to add a little bit of context to what I've been saying, today he has met Sharif in United Nations and he is talking of let's revive the SARC. Sharif has invited him on an official visit to Pakistan. Now the ISI angle is clear. He was standing next to Bill Gates, we know what is his relation with Bill Gates. Well, Clinton Foundation, that was there. He says, he's my old friend. Now he gets 2-3 students on the stage and says, these are the people who have done it. Basically, he was always, anywhere, always involved in this. These people are now the friends which they have done. He, along with Jamaat-e-Islami, Pakistani, Americans, and some even say Chinese, have been behind what happened. This student revolution and all was orchestrated. That is what we have been always maintaining on your channel, your show. This is all orchestrated. This is never, how can 200 to 300 students or a few thousands get and topple a government? Why did the Bangladesh's army chief tell Sheikh Hasina to go? Air Force chief was telling the same, Navy chief was telling the same, even his police chief was telling him the same, and on the top of that, his personal security in charge is telling him the same. All the 5 in the same room tell him, madam, you leave. And what does the army chief tell him? You have 45 minutes. After that, I cannot guarantee your security to the son, Joy, and his sister is there. So this means this was all orchestrated. You wanted to send the Sheikh Hasina out. You wanted to start an Islamic revolution in Bangladesh, which you have done. You wanted to convert it back to East Pakistan, which is done, because the only person who is interested in inviting Yunus on a state visit is Pakistan. So you had all the problems with Pakistan, and how come you became the best buddies of Pakistan? On UNGA, you are announcing it. Clinton is next to you. You are being invited to Pakistan. You want to restart the SARC. You are talking about there was no violence against Hindus. You are talking about nothing happened. You did not allow Ganesh Chaturthi to be celebrated. You are mum about the genocide of Hindus happening. You did not utter any word. You let all the terrorists out of jail go out. All the dreaded Islamists which were rotting in jail, you let them go out. You are letting Jamaat-e-Islami have a free run. The ISI is having a free run. And now you are getting 3 people on the stage and saying 1, 2, 3, these are the boys who did it. I am just here by a fluke and by accident. I really don't know. This talks about the hypocrisy. More important than that, Devika ji, this talks about the conspiracy. The involvement of Americans, that is Clinton Foundation, involvement of Chinese, ISI, Pakistan, Jamatis, and all put together with one single agenda. You have to get Sheikh Hasina out. We have to do a genocide of Hindus, and we have to hurt the interests of India and Bangladesh, and we have to undo all the good and great work that India has been doing just on a humanitarian perspective. Now, if you vandalize the statues of Mujibur Rahman, if you burn down his home, if you ask the Prime Minister within 45 minutes you leave, and by the way, the army chief is married to the cousin sister of Sheikh Hasina. They are related. So that is why it is believed that even he gave him 45 minutes. When we were all talking about it, shouting our lungs out, you told us it's all organic. Ye to khud ho gaya. Now you are telling us these are the people who done it. Now, sake of God, Devika ji, how can 3 students, 10 or 3,000 cause a revolution? If it was so easy, we would have revolutions every half an hour in the world. So they were just used as pawns. They were kept in the front. They were players acting in the back. This whole student protest is orchestrated. The real designs are out. What is the design? Design is Islamization of Bangladesh. Very soon this person will be supporting Sharia law. Very soon this person will be talking of all the crap. And let me remind you, he has ordered 250 times the ammunition from Pakistan. His bullets which he has ordered is 250 times. He has ordered double the tank ammunition, double the, those mortars and all. When he was asked, why are you ordering this stuff from Pakistan? He said, I might have problems in Myanmar. And then the same person did not pay our $1.8 billion, which has to pay us for the electricity, which was supplying. So you have all the money to gang up with Pakistan, to play this good bad with Pakistan, give them orders for arms and ammunition, and you're not paying our Bijli ka bill. You are telling us we'll review all the projects of India and Bangladesh, we'll stop maximum of them. You are telling us that we will have to revisit the India relations. You are talking of anything and everything which is anti-India, and you are talking of anything and everything which is pro-Pakistan and pro-China. And now with this map, with this stage where they are trying to say, oh, these guys did it, you think, एक हिंदी में कहावत है ना, दुनिया पागल है या फिर मैं दीवाना. You think the whole world is stupid or I am crazy. That is what this man thinks. I think this man is exposed now. His true colors are out. The Islamic Revolution of Bangladesh is out. It should be called East Pakistan now, and that is where it is going. The first state visit of Mohammad Yunus Sahab. कहाँ जा रहे हैं जनाब? Pakistan जा रहे हैं. Now what more do you want to say, Devika ji? It's all it's a 360-degree turn. अब क्या बोले?
Okay. I want to bring in Gautam Mukherjee into the conversation as well. Gautam Mukherjee, what do you make of some of the way Mohammad Yunus is then portrayed some of these students in America, right next to Bill Clinton? He says it's not something that just happened suddenly. It's not like that. It's very meticulously planned, well designed. Even the leadership people don't really know who are the leaders, so you can't really. What he was trying to say was that it was so well designed, nobody ever knew who the leader of the movement was, and therefore the government could not just catch some people and that the movement would fall apart. What do you make of his statement and what he said, and the need for him to go and word it this way in America?
Well, the interesting thing from my point of view is how America, prominent people like former President Bill Clinton, who has been friends with Mohammad Yunus for many years in his other role as the Grameen Bank chief and, looking after microfinance and promoting microfinance around the world. Biden himself, they all looked so pleased with what has happened in Bangladesh and with Mohammad Yunus. And Mohammad Yunus was over the moon. He was completely at home on American soil and was in very high spirits. Now I can understand Pakistan wanting to Islamicize Bangladesh, but I don't really understand the gain of America in what is apparently that they promoted this regime change and expect to benefit from it. Now, if it is merely a way to weaken India, then fair enough, because that is part of the American agenda, at least the American deep state agenda, while the front foot is trying to create greater and greater ties with India. But other than that, are they expecting that to create another Afghanistan, another Pakistan, another failed state is in America's advantage? It seems difficult to understand that at the moment. As far as Pakistan, it's a net gain, but are they in a place and in a state as far as the economy goes to really benefit from it? China will certainly benefit, but again, their economy is now very weak, and for them to carry on as they did when they started the Belt and Road Initiative with trillions of dollars in investment funds, they no longer have them. Wherever they have invested, they have not realized the gains that they expected to. So it will take a bit of time for this to roll out in favor of the people who seem to have engineered it, which is, as the other panelists have said, America, certainly Pakistan, China. They're not going to immediately gain from it because they don't have the resources to exploit it. but still it's very mysterious to my mind why America has done this.
Right.
David.
Okay. I'm going to, of course, pick that question up with Ambassador Sikri in just a moment on why America has done it. Because Ambassador Sikri, we've also been, of course, discussing, and of course, there are always conspiracy theories about a Chinese hand in anything that happens in this region. We often tend to forget that America continues to be quite a meddler. It's always been one and it will continue to be one. I'll come to you with that in just a moment, but I want to bring in Prashanta Kumar into the conversation as well. Prashanta Kumar, your thoughts really on what Muhammad Yunus said and why do you think he worded it the way he did?
Okay, you can actually, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, you know that is a very good relations in Hillary Clinton and also in Bill Clinton. You know that the US's relations between and Dr. Muhammad Yunus very good and very fantastic relations in the past, and it's come from his Nobel Prize, and he also passes his long time of tenure in US. So that's why he know ins and outs everything from US's administrations, and also know what Biden administration done actually. So that's why he can get a very good advantage from the US support actually. And the second question already that is coming from the person who is come from the mastermind of the Protestants, of student Protestant, the name of the Mahfouz Alam actually. The people in our country, people are all at the known who are the actually were the center and recenter that kind of Protestant, but he declared in the that is the very violent nations from a very prestigious platform and United Nations platform. We can officially declare who is the mastermind, and actually it's a turn point for focusing. It's a scenario message for the South Asian country. You already mentioned, Gautam already mentioned the BRI project from China. You know, BRI is already Bangladesh has very sophisticated, very BRI project in Belt and Initiative Road and Asian Highway Road that is come from the China and Myanmar and India, BICM road, and also in Bangladesh. So that's a very good corridor for the for the Chinese. But what is the role in USA right now? So you know that it's very hardly to say that in our country last 20 or 30 days ago actually, some people are celebrate Muhammad Ali Jinnah's birthday in our country. Can you imagine? So that is the narrative actually. That's a narrative actually to greater Pakistan established it anyhow. So how we can establish a greater Pakistan in that way? That's why they can already some people are already announced that they can change their national anthem. Can you imagine? So you can change the right point by institutions, constitutions, your national anthem, everything change. What is happening? The plan is very much crystal clear for everyone actually. This is a game. This is a game theory, this is a plan theory, and who is the mastermind? I can say everyone knows that who is the mastermind. All at the Sumitji already announced who is what is mechanism happening. So what is changing here from South Asian countries? So it's the alert actually. It's the alert for not only Bangladesh, it's the alert for also South Asia also. Because South Asians, if the all collective narrative in the same strong vessel, the South Asian is dramatically changed. Dramatically changed everything, every nation. So you can call in a hostilities, call in a vandalism, so everything happens. So I can think it's a very high time to work every countries to point. What is happening? Just stress and find the solutions immediately.
Okay, I want to bring Ambassador Sikri back into the conversation. Ambassador Sikri, same question, ma'am, that I posed to you earlier about the role of the United States of America and the fact that the US has in a way rolled out the red carpet for Muhammad Yunus as well. He's an interim leader at the end of the day of Bangladesh, but a red carpet rolled out. Joe Biden, Bill Clinton all saying that of course we stand by Bangladesh in this difficult time when the country is transitioning. But what really is it that we've understood in the past few months about who benefits from turmoil in Bangladesh?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. Bangladesh itself, the people of Bangladesh are absolutely talking about this all the time, the role of USA in bringing out this regime change. And what Professor Mohammad Yunus has said yesterday actually reinforces that. And the question that why has President Joe Biden and former President Bill Clinton and all of them met him and promised all this aid to a government which is actually has no constitutional legality at the moment. Because actually in the Bangladesh constitution, there is no provision for an interim government. And if there was earlier on, which was removed after the High Court and Supreme Court gave judgments against having a caretaker government under parliamentary democracy, even when it was there only for a 90-day period to organize elections and take no policy decisions of any kind. But this present government is taking all reform decisions, appointing committees, changing ambassadors, and it's really amazing how this is happening because it's causing a lot of confusion and uncertainty in Bangladesh. The biggest worry that has come after this election, and this is what is causing a lot of disturbance among the people in Bangladesh, that the Jamaat-e-Islami has the upper hand. Now, Jamaat-e-Islami is behind the scenes, but they completely have the upper hand. They are the ones taking all the decisions. They are the ones making all the appointments. And in fact, even the so-called student leaders that are there, they are actually representatives of the Islami Chhatra Shibir, which is a student wing of the Jamaat-e-Islami. So this is actually what is really causing a lot of perplexation in Bangladesh. And why is this? Why is the Jamaat-e-Islami suddenly on top? Because they know that in any free and fair election, Jamaat-e-Islami does not get more than 4 and 5% of the vote. So why would the USA have created a situation where the front is Professor Mohammad Yunus, and it is being talked openly in Bangladesh that he is helpless, he does not take any decisions on his own, and then you have behind him, it is the Jamaat-e-Islami who is announcing all the decisions. You can make out that it is the Jamaat-e-Islami from the nature of the people, the names of the people, the individuals who are now being asked to man all these reforms and even do a constitutional change. And I think that you're seeing that in Bangladesh when the son of Ghulam Azam, who was the Amir of Jamaat-e-Islami during the Liberation War, he was a general, a lieutenant general, he said we should change the constitution, we should change the flag, we should change the national anthem because the whole Liberation War was nothing. I mean, he wanted, this is the point, to wipe out the history of the Liberation War. And to bring in the history Liberation War and to say that it didn't happen at all, you're going back to the Pakistan days. And that is why now you had the meetings with the Pakistan High Commissioner. He's meeting everybody and saying, let's resolve the unsettled issues of 1971. This is causing a lot of uncertainty in the minds of the people of Bangladesh because the students, the genuine students community, they value their history. They value the history of the Liberation War. And they value the memory of Sheikh Mujib, of all the freedom fighters who laid down their lives for the 4 pillars of the Bangladesh constitution, which are democracy, secularism, nationalism and social justice. So I think this struggle is really for bringing back the pillars of the Bangladesh constitution, and I think that what Mohammad Yunus has said in USA, in New York yesterday in the presence of former President Bill Clinton will certainly ignite the debate once again in Bangladesh.
Okay, I'm going to leave the last word with Sumit Peer. Sumit Peer, again, once again, as far as the role of the United States of America is concerned, what is it that we also need to keep in mind, as far as the various different blocks and patterns are concerned, and who really benefits from what happens in this region? What is it that we need to keep in mind going ahead? Because like I said, as soon as there was trouble in Bangladesh, of course, theories and conspiracy theories come out about the role of a China. Right, and that's where the mind first goes. Is all of that also then utilized by, say, the United States of America to continue on and push on their agenda, because they somewhere now also realize that if something happens in this region, all eyes go to China?
Devgaji, there are 2 things to it. First of all, I remember the January when Victoria Nuland and Donald Liu went to Bangladesh. They met Sheikh Hasina, where Sheikh Hasina says, kuch gore log mile the. She didn't name them. But they clearly asked her, look, we need a base in St. Martin's Island and you have to agree to it. Sheikh Hasina says, no, I cannot give you the base in San Martin because you will be able to fiddle around in whole of this region and control the region. So Americans go back. They tried to say the election is not valid, Al-Poshan did not participate, but somehow with the strength of India, the elections went through and the things went okay. Then came the Chinese, because Sheikh Hasina went to China. She was trying to juggle between Prime Minister Modi and China. She went to China. They told him, we'll give you $20 billion and all that story. Nothing came back. She came back. The government was brought down. When the government was brought down, then it was a race between Americans and China. Who gets the control? So Americans were fast enough, because CIA is a purana chawal hai. They are much ahead in the game. They got Muhammad Yunus planted. They got all the things in place. Now what do they want? Look at the region. Myanmar, there is a conflict between America, China, and even to some extent between India and some Bangladesh also there. Now, unfortunately, Myanmar is going to China way. Rakhine province is completely controlled by China. Shin State is the place where you have maximum opium grown in the whole world now today. It has far taken Afghanistan. Now, with these things fermenting in Myanmar, everybody wants a stranglehold here. If you look at Dibogacia is quite down there. Americans will not have that edge. So Americans utilize this opportunity to get a hold of Bangladesh. If you have a puppet like Yunus, you will get San Martin today, tomorrow you will get docking facility in Bangladesh. What do the Chinese want? Chinese wanted access to the Bay of Bengal. They wanted a port from which they could get access to Bay of Bengal, which Sheikh Hasina again denied. Chinese wanted to supply weapons to the Myanmar forces, which are poor to China, includes Arakan Army and other 8 organizations now, which Sheikh Hasina denied. Say, I cannot give you access through my shores. You find a way to go there. It's not of my problem. So that is what irked China. So it was a game between China and United States, which United States took the advantage. It's all about getting bases. It's all about getting docking. It's all about controlling this region. But I think today Americans are ahead of the game. What looks like today what is happening and the kind of support Yunus is getting, I think San Martin's air base and the docking is somewhere on the cards, and they might even get docking in Chittagong. They might get docking in who knows, Dhaka. This is all in the cards. So ultimately America also wants to keep those print picks on around India. You want to the American government might be very close to us, but the deep state has its own interest. So it's just a that carrot and a stick policy. I have the carrot for you, but I also have a stick. You have to fall in my line, otherwise I will have levers which I can pull to get you back into the line. That is what America does with everybody, and that is what we are seeing here, what is happening. That is why you see Yunus is getting such a reception. He has become the hero. He has become Captain America suddenly. I don't think people love Captain America as they have started loving Yunus. All of a sudden, he's the new Iron Man of America. I mean, why so? And his 3 puppets which he's trying to show us, oh, these are the people. Well, Dr. Yunus, give us a break.
Yes.
We are not born yesterday.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.